Well, a united front there from the Patriotic Alliance, Councillor Marlon Daniels and, of course, Mayor Athol Trollip. Well, Yolisa Yako, the EFF Councillor and Chairperson of the Municipality's Public Accounts Committee, joins us now also from our studios in Port Elizabeth. Good evening to you and thank you for your time. This is a fourth motion of no confidence, or at least an attempt for one, that the Mayor has survived. This clearly isn't working, is it?
It's not a matter of it not working. However, we really want to do it just right this time. Hence, we couldn't participate in today's council meeting.
But, I mean, we've seen this kind of thing before. We've seen a lot of hoo-ha built up around, a planned motion, and only at the last minute for you to ditch it for, sometimes it has seemed, the flimsiest reasons.
I want to clarify that the reason we couldn't sit in this council meeting today was because it wasn't a flimsy decision. Remember that we sent a motion to the Speaker for these exact motions. These motions are not new motions. These motions are old motions that we tabled. And they were declined at the time based on the rules of council. So we were told that we didn't, the Speaker didn't receive them 10 working days before. We submitted them on the 10th of May and for the 24th of May, and we were told that we couldn't do that. The second time, we submitted a petition with different motions on the 3rd of August for today's council meeting, and we were told that we didn't meet council rules. So what we're saying is we don't want a situation where we're going to take decisions in a council meeting and those decisions are going to be null and void based on the council rules. So according to the council rules, as per the rule, Rule 12.3, it says that you should receive an agenda within 5 working days. And on Thursday, there was a public holiday. Most people received their agendas on Friday. It matters not whether it was a printing error. It matters not whether the ANC used to do it. We were not part of that governance at the time. So we want to do things right because we don't want people to then go to court and say this council meeting that said was not constitutional.
Of course, the opposition will say that you're arguing around technicalities, but the reality is you simply don't have the numbers. I mean, the swinging of Marlon Daniels back to the DA-led coalition has basically scuppered all your plans.
I don't think it has, because remember, we've got 60-60. So there's nobody who has clear numbers. And if you've looked at the agenda, the first motion to be put is for the Speaker to step down. So we weren't going to have a Speaker that's partisan. We were going to have a Speaker in terms of the city manager that was going to be non-partisan. So there was not going to be any extra casting vote per se to put in favor for the DA. So to say that we didn't have numbers, I don't think that's true. The numbers were even, either or.
How do you respond? Just make sure you hear.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I'll just wait for you to hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How do you respond to the charge that essentially, that's fantastic. How do you respond to the charge that essentially the voters 2 years ago gave a mandate to the DA-led coalition for a different government? We know, of course, since they've been in power, the allegations that have emerged around the previous administration and all the corruption that is alleged to have taken place there. How do you respond then that the removal of the mayor is essentially a vote for that corruption to return?
I think that would give a lot of power to the ANC. Remember, the dynamics in Nelson Mandela Bay were that the minority parties would then take shape and form part of the government. So they wouldn't then say they're taking governance outright or we're giving it to the ANC. The ANC wouldn't have outright majority. So they wouldn't have to take any kind of decision without first going through a bloc and that bloc then taking a decision. So there was no taking the ANC back through the back door or any kind of thing like that. It was going to be a bloc of councillors who want service delivery for the majority that is dispossessed in Nelson Mandela Bay, who is not getting service as we speak. So it wasn't about the ANC, it was about the majority, the people that seek to make change in Nelson Mandela Bay.
And finally, what is your problem with Mayor Athol Trollip? The DA are saying it's simply because he's white.
No, it's not about color. It is not about color. It is about a figurehead that is swinging the budget of Nelson Mandela Bay. Remember, when our president pronounced that Trollip would fall, we easily accepted that. We could have negotiated, but we didn't, because we felt that our budget in Nelson Mandela Bay is not going towards where it's supposed to go. Our budget is not being spent on where it's supposed to be spent. Even the current USDG grant that we received lately, it didn't go to where it was supposed to go. Roads that were already tarred were being retarred. Things that were being repaired were already there. So we weren't, our people weren't receiving housing. Our people weren't receiving any kind of service that speaks to them. It seems as if there's a sort of displacement from the DA as to what is currently really going on in Nelson Mandela Bay. And we are the voice of the people. So we weren't going to allow a situation where he's still running and still saying to the media that he's doing well and that he's providing services and jobs where he's not.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Yolisa Yako, an EFF councillor, thank you very much for your time. Of course, Yolisa Yako is also the chairperson of the Municipality's Public Accounts Committee. We do want your thoughts on this discussion. You've heard both sides, as it were. We want you to send us your comments and your thoughts on the story. Remember, our hashtag on Twitter is FullView. You can also send us at any time a voice note or indeed a video comment. The number to dial, as always, is +27 66 479 8056. If you're in South Africa, just go 066 479 8056. Please keep them short. We ask you to make them no longer than 30 seconds. Tell us who you are and where you are sending them from.